Welcome to our discussion on the modern media. On June 20th, 2009, 27-year-old Neda Agha Soltan was shot to death in the streets of Tehran, Iran, as she was about to join a demonstration to protest the outcome of the Iranian election. Agha Soltan was killed by a bullet allegedly fired by a member of the Baji, the Iranian paramilitary organization loyal to Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. What made Agha Soltan's death unique was that it became the iconic representation of the anti-government movement. The murder was captured on a cell phone video camera by a bystander. It was sent to the British newspaper The Guardian and to the Voice of America radio network. It was also sent to several individuals, one of whom uploaded the video to Facebook and then to YouTube. Within hours, it was broadcast on CNN. In 2010, the anonymously recorded video won the prestigious George Polk Journalism Award for Videography. Polk Award curator John Darton of the New York Times noted that this award celebrates the fact that in today's world, a brave bystander with a cell phone camera can use video sharing and social networking sites to deliver news. The Agha Soltan case demonstrates a tension that now exists in defining the media. Traditionally, we have easily recognized the media, our hometown newspaper, the local television news, and the cable news network. But defining the media today is trickier. Do tweets from your mayor, blogs from your roommate, or Facebook posts from your mom count as media? Although many regard the media simply as tools used to store and deliver information or data, in which case all of the above would be considered media, we must differentiate between media outlets that distribute unverifiable or opinion-based information and that disseminates verifiable information. The media are present in various forms today, including print media such as newspapers and magazines, the electronic media, which traditionally means radio and television, and new media, usually thought of as being those forms associated with the internet and cellular technology, including websites and social networking sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. In previous eras, media consumers often accepted what was broadcast or printed as fact, but today one must be critical consumers of information. Just because information appears on a blog or even hundreds of blogs, it is not necessarily true. How can today's media consumers be certain the information they are receiving is accurate? One good method is by relying on media outlets with a track record of providing solid information and adhering to journalistic standards. Another is to check sources independently. Today, the internet has made it possible to verify some information simply by clicking on a hot link to the original sources. More and more news organizations will come to rely on citizen journalists such as the videographer who filmed Agha Soltan's death, increasing the probability that false information will be widely distributed by unscrupulous individuals. Thus, today's media consumers must exercise a high level of caution when reading, listening, or viewing. The political functions of the media. In the United States today, the media in all their forms, including print, television, radio, and the internet, fulfill several key functions. Much of what the media do revolves around entertaining us, whether that means watching NCIS or reading the Sunday Funnies. But the media perform important political functions as well and are a vital element of our democracy. Specifically, the media perform the following political functions. 1. Provide political information. 2. Help us to interpret events and policies and are influential in setting the national policy agenda. 3. Provide a forum for political conversations. 4. Socialize children to the political culture. Let's talk about providing information. One long-standing function of the mass media is to serve up a steady diet of news and information to readers, viewers, and listeners. Indeed, the media, particularly the electronic media, are the primary source of information for most individuals. And today, the quantity of information available on blogs, websites, and cable television stations surpasses the volume available at any other time in history. Coverage includes everything from weather watches to sports scores to the latest legislative developments on Capitol Hill to serious analysis of top domestic policy issues and international problems. From this steady diet arises the problem of information overload, the constant availability of news information to the point of excess, which may cause media consumers to ignore, dismiss, or fail to see the significance of particular events. Media critics especially fault the television networks for injecting entertainment into the news shows. They dub this combination infotainment, which is a hybrid of the words information and entertainment. More recent is the trend of uniting comedy with political content, as in Jon Stewart's The Daily Show and Stephen Colbert's The Colbert Report, both of which interpret news events with a comedic slant. interpreting matters of public interest and setting the public agenda. Besides reporting information, the media help people to comprehend and interpret matters of public interest and to make informed decisions about public policies. Political scientist Shantu Aigner asserts that this process often begins with media framing, setting a context that helps people understand important events and matters of shared interest. Another political scientist, Pippa Norris, has analyzed the process of framing as it relates to gender. She asserts that gender has become a common frame through which journalists provide context for different kinds of political stories. Norris explains that voters, candidates, public opinion, and issues all may be viewed from a gender-based perspective. For example, in the 2008 presidential campaign, the media initially covered the race for the Democratic nomination by accentuating the gender of Senator Hillary Clinton, Democrat from New York, and played up Clinton's potential to be the first woman president of the United States. Media reporting defined her opponent, Senator Barack Obama, as potentially the first African-American president. Similarly, when Senator John McCain announced that Alaska Governor Sarah Palin would be his running mate in 2008 general election campaign, the media emphasized the gendered aspects of her nomination, particularly her role as a mother. The media also helped to shape the public agenda, public issues that most demand the attention of government officials. The media commonly influence the setting of public agenda by priming, using their coverage to bring particular policies on issues to the public agenda. Providing a forum for conversations about politics. Although the media have provided an often lively forum for conversations about politics, the prominence of these roles has reached new heights in the Internet era. Historically, information flowed from the media, which through the years have included everything from the political broadsides and leaflets of colonial times to modern newspapers, radio news, and television programming to the people. The people then formed opinions based on what they read, heard, and saw. This historical one-way tradition typically featured little give and take between media sources and their consumers. A notable exception has been the letter to the editor, in which a reader responds to a newspaper story, knowing that the letter might be published in that paper. The advent of talk radio gave listeners one of their first regular opportunities to express their views publicly. Television took note, and call-in shows such as The Larry King Live now are common fare on cable news stations. But no other medium has expanded the ability of people to communicate their views to the degree that the Internet has. David Weinberger, a Democratic marketing consultant and Internet advisor, describes this phenomenon. Think of it as a conversation space. Conversation is the opposite of marketing. It's talking in our own voices about things we want to hear about. Web blogs facilitate this conversation by inviting an ongoing dialogue between the blog hosts and the posters. Discussion boards, even those that are non-political, are filled with political discussions and opinions. Social networking sites such as MySpace, Facebook, Black Planet, MyBotanga, AsiaAv, and FaithBase also allow individuals to share their stories, interests, and political viewpoints. The media also socialize new generations to the political culture. For young children, television remains the dominant medium for both entertainment and socialization. TV viewing toddlers receive regular messages about important cultural values, such as Sesame Street and Barney. Shows such as Sesame Street and Barney send powerful messages about the value of diversity in society. A song such as Barney's "You Are Special" underscores the value of individualism in the culture. Young children's shows also subtly instruct watchers on the value of patriotism and of specific civic behaviors, such as voting. TV programming for older children similarly takes on political issues. In Arthur, the main character comes face-to-face with censorship when adults in his town have the Scare Your Pants Off book series removed from the public library, thus providing a concise 15-minute lesson on civil liberties issues. Even television and radio programs not specifically aimed at youth often reinforce democratic principles and practices. What is American Idol, if not a televised election? And when the tribe speaks on Survivor, they do so through the process of voting. Talk radio and television call-in programs rest on the assumption that individuals' opinions matter and that they have the right to voice them. These various kinds of programming may not directly spur a particular political behavior on the part of viewers. Nonetheless, television and other forms of media that we often think of as pure entertainment frequently reinforce and legitimize dominant American political values. There are three roles of the media. The first is gatekeeper. The media can influence what subjects become national political issues and for how long, such as pollution, crime rates, prescription drugs, etc. The second role is as of scorekeeper. The media keep track of and help make political reputations, note who is being mentioned, and help decide who is winning and losing in Washington politics. Under that is horse race journalism. This is covering campaigns by emphasizing the relative standings of the candidates in the polls rather than the issues they discuss. And the reason they do that is because the issues they discuss become oftentimes over-discussed, and so they keep track of who's winning on a daily basis. And the third role is watchdog. This often leads to the uncovering of a scandal similar to muckrakers. This is why we had the Monica Lewinsky scandal. This is why we had the Watergate scandal. This is why we have the Benghazi scandal and things like that.